Hi, my name is Don Wenner, CEO and founder of DLP Real Estate Capital, and I'm joined by Jim Dolly, CEO at White Coat Investors. Thanks for jumping on here with me, Jim.
Thank you. It's great to be here, and I'm excited for this conversation.
Awesome. Well, Jim, I wanted to give an opportunity to share with you and your investor base a little bit about DLP, our investment funds, kind of what we do and how it works. And can't wait to jump in and do so.
Awesome.
So I'm going to grab a little visual aid for us here and dive in. A little bit about myself. This is year 15 now of since I started DLP. Over that period of time, we've been fortunate to close more than 16,000 real estate transactions, have done over $1.5 billion in real estate lending. We've also acquired in the equity side over $1.5 billion as well. Today, we own with our investors a portfolio of more than 11,000 single-family, multifamily rental homes. We've won a lot of awards for the culture and organization we built and the growth we've been able to have, growing now every single year for these 14 plus years by 60% each and every year. DLP Real Estate Capital is the parent business that oversees all of the integrated family of businesses. But as you see there on the top of the screen, DLP Capital Partners is really our engine and what drives everything we do at DLP. The capital that our investors entrust to us to deploy into both making loans to real estate investors and through DLP lending, as well as through going out and acquiring, approving, and building residential rental communities and providing all of the management, construction, and asset management as well throughout that portfolio. Our equity side of our business is called the DLP Housing Fund. This is our most recent fund. It's our 8th fund we've launched over this past decade. This is a $1 billion evergreen REIT. This fund is evergreen and open-ended, but as investors, you're not committed to being in this fund long-term. You have the ability to redeem out of the fund each and every year. We have annual redemptions to go along with our annual valuations that we do of our entire real estate portfolio. Like most real estate investments, this fund is very tax efficient. You get all the benefits of depreciation, which in most cases will offset the majority, if not all, of the operating income. What makes this fund pretty unique, being that it's an open-ended evergreen fund, is that as we sell properties off, we're able to do 1031 like-kind exchanges and defer out those taxes. That gives investors the ability to essentially choose when you want to have a taxable event based on when you choose to redeem out of the fund. The fund provides a 6% preferred return. That means 6% that investors earn before we earn anything. One of the things that I can promise you is unique, and if you look at any funds throughout this sector or probably almost any private fund that you'd invest into, is that our management fee that we earn, and this is the case in all of our funds, is subordinate to that preferred return, meaning we do not even earn a management fee until we achieve that preferred return. After we achieve that preferred return, then we get our management fee, and then we have an 80-20 split with a target return of 12% net to investors. One of the other things that's pretty unique, I think, about this fund is we really focus on having a great alignment of interest between ourselves and our investors, putting investors first in terms of the preferred returns and distributions before we earn anything, but also the fact that we, myself, our management team, are investing heavily right alongside our investors. In fact, we're required to invest at least 5% of all the capital, but today we have about 25% of the capital. The other side of our business is our lending side of our business, which we have 2 investment vehicles to talk about here in this conversation. One is the DLP Lending Fund, which is a $500 million evergreen REIT. This fund has been running now for over 6 years. Over those 6 years, we've generated over a 13% return net to investors. The fund has a targeted return of 10%. That targeted preferred return is paid out every single month. In fact, it's actually paid out on the first of each month. And then every month, once we close out our books for that month, we actually pay out a second distribution every month for all earnings above 10%, actually paying out 2 distributions a month, paying out double-digit returns every single month, while giving investors the ability to compound and reinvest those distributions. This fund has a very high, for most people's standards, preferred return, 10%. Again, investors earn 10% before we earn anything, even our management fee. So investors get their 10%, then we get our 1% management fee, and then we have an 80-20 split. We've exceeded that 10% preferred return every single month. In fact, we've exceeded our target returns in every one of our funds in every period here, including the DLP Lending Fund. From the first day you invest, if you invested with us today and tomorrow you had a better opportunity and you wanted to redeem your entire investment, you could request that redemption and we'll redeem your investment out within 90 days. In fact, nobody has ever waited more than 54 days for full redemption of any redemption requests. So in summary, very liquid fund, providing double-digit returns with monthly reporting and monthly distributions. But we've had phenomenal performance throughout our fund. In fact, now for 10 straight months now through COVID, we've had no defaults, not one single default. I missed it earlier, but on our equity side of our business where we own our portfolio, we've had incredible performance through COVID as well. We've actually had broken all-time high occupancies throughout our portfolio every single month through COVID. We've lowered our cost of debt, and we've actually grown our cash flow every month since COVID. So the third vehicle we have is also invest, just like the lending fund, into making short-term private loans to real estate investors. So both the DLP Lending Fund and the Positive Note Fund make short-term loans to real estate investors. These aren't loans to homeowners. These are loans to full-time real estate investors. You can choose to invest for as short as 90 days, essentially an evergreen note that you can redeem out of at any time with 90-day notice, or commit for 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year, kind of like a CD, and lock in for a fixed yield, much different than today's CD fixed rates, anywhere from 5% to 10%, with options of taking distributions monthly or letting it compound and grow.
I mean, it's pretty exciting. A lot of the things you're pointing out there. For example, the fact that you don't take your fees until the preferred return's been paid. I've looked at a lot of these deals and I've never seen that before. It's pretty incredible.
What we focus first and foremost is no losses and consistency in return. So by putting investors first, getting their returns before we get to turn anything, helps make sure we assure that consistency in our returns and distributions, putting investors first.
Now, I've been invested in the lending fund, at least through a third-party access fund, for a couple of years now, and been pretty happy with the returns there. Let's talk a little bit about the opportunity the white coat investors have to come and invest through DLP. They have a opportunity to invest in any of the three funds.
Yes.
And you've lowered the minimums for them compared to what you normally offer to individual investors. Can you tell us about that?
We look at the white coat investor kind of family as kind of one, and Jim and I and DLP have reached a arrangement, I guess I'll call it, to lower our minimum to $100,000 for anybody who comes to us through white coat, making it a lot easier for investors to sort of dip their toe in, get to know us, get exposure to one of our funds, and determine if this is a place you want to continue to grow and allocate capital to over the course of time if we do a great job for you.
Awesome. That sounds pretty appealing. I certainly plan to invest some more money with DLP. I think more information is going to be available both on the White Coat Investor website, obviously on the DLP website, lots of information available. And if they have further questions for you, who's the best person to contact and how should they do it?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And so, there's a couple things you can do here. Certainly, you can see here dlpinvest.com. So in addition to going to White Coat, you can go there and you can actually, within 20 seconds or so, create an account, and you can get access to all of our audits, our balance sheets, our income statements, our loan statements, our see the properties we own, as much information as you could want to see. You can do that all from the comfort of your home without talking to anybody. And then whenever you're ready, whether it's today or in the future, you want to talk with one of our leaders, I welcome you to reach out to any of the handsome gentlemen on the screen, Rich, Larry, or Bo, and they'd be glad to chat with you. Their direct numbers are there, as well as their email addresses, and they'd be happy to chat with you, explain more about what we do, explain in context of your goals, and determine if we're a fit for each other.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time today, and thanks for what you do for investors.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate the opportunity.